Welcome to INS, the International News Service, your source for the most important weird news from across the globe. With news analyst Kevin Harrison, actor, comedian, and musician Mike Wiebe, and professional commentator Brian Camp. INS, the news you need.
I was pretty sure my immune system would have fought it off anyway. So
yeah,
I kind of didn't want to get the vaccine and then intentionally expose myself just to see, kind of like that's my Everest.
That if I got COVID, like I would beat it so bad that the COVID would it would have to go back to it would have to regroup and get more powerful and it would hurt people more. And I'm sure that more powerful batch wouldn't hurt me either. But it would hurt people more. And so I have to think a lot about that. And
you gotta think about other people, Mike.
Very altruistic of you.
Yeah. I did not need to get vaccinated. I am immortal and I have an amulet. I got vaccinated because I wanted to show to other people that it's cool.
How many needles did they break trying to vaccinate you?
Well, I was able to relax. I flexed my bicep and the syringe broke and the glass got into the nurse lady's face and some assistant across the room because it went everywhere. I mean, it exploded. Like, it's not just like, a little crack of a syringe. I mean, it exploded with like a bomb went off. And it got, and I look like some, and I would feel bad, but like also there was like vaccine in the glass. So they got like double vaccinated or whatever, Right. And they got some cool scars. They got a cool story. I mean, that's just the kind of thing. And I think that hopefully like a lot of people, a lot of teens, they're like, oh, it's really cool that Mike did that. Maybe I can break it too. And they can't. They can't. But you know what? I never publicly said that it wouldn't be possible for you to do this. So, you hear these stories about these kids, they're lined up around the block. They want to be just like Mike. They say, hey, I'm like Mike.
Yeah, that's about you. Yeah.
And there's you've probably seen some T-shirts that say "Be like Mike," and a lot of that is from that. So, if I can help to inspire people, cool. Even if it doesn't affect me, I mean that's kind of one of the reasons I'm so fucking cool and great and humble is that I do things like this even though I don't need to.
You're one of the good ones.
Most hateable version of Mike.
I don't know that I'm one of the good ones or if I'm the best one, but I'm one of something where in there.
I just like how aware you are of your connection with the teens.
Yeah, teens. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big
teens. Yeah, teens.
Just anything that's like hip and new, and it's like accepting new.
You can just hang out with them and just rap. Talk about their parents that just don't get what's going on.
I'm E.F. Hutton. If I talk, teens listen. Okay.
I bet they like that analogy the most.
Yeah.
They love that reference.
Yeah, they do that, and sometimes. Somebody, if somebody asks me for something, this is something I've been saying a lot, I'll go like, hey, it's not Burger King. You can't have it your way. That's something that I'll say.
Yeah, it's a good way to form a connection with the teens.
Yeah. And they'll go like, oh shit, yeah. I was like, listen, I'm like you guys, like my mom used to say, you got to get a haircut. And I'd say, Mom, it ain't Burger King. You can't have it your way. And she'd look like I slapped her in the face. But I didn't slap her in the face. I was very respectful, except for the crack about Burger King and not having it her way.
And you probably ask forgiveness for that every day.
Right.
I took forgiveness. I don't know that I asked. I took. Sometimes that's the thing I have to tell you guys is that sometimes you don't need to ask for forgiveness. You just need to take it. That's what an alpha does.
Oh, damn it.
No.
An alpha does not ask for forgiveness. An alpha takes it.
Is that the lesson you got from Sunday school?
You can be wrong occasionally. It happens.
Give us an example of how that would play out.
Well, I mean, let's just say I flexed my bicep on purpose and hurt a bunch of people in a vaccination scenario.
Right.
I can see they're super bummed out. And part of me knew that I shouldn't have done that. But instead of like saying, hey, I'm really sorry, I said, without a word, I looked at both of them and I said, I accept that you accept my apology. That's how you do it.
Forced forgiveness is fantastic.
Because you don't want to appear weak. I mean, they were just screaming blood all over their faces.
Right.
No, I can't see. It's in my eye. I mean, you don't want to appear weak by apologizing, but you don't want to be a fucking jerk who never, accepts that he did something wrong. So, because that's jerky behavior.
Right.
So just think of this, take my lead. That's my one piece of advice for the podcast. Be more like me. That's my one piece of advice for the podcast.
It's good. I think that'll help a lot of people.
A lot of teens, for sure.
Well, we have a lot of teen listeners.
Mm-hmm.
They especially like our references to Mickey and Annie Rooney.
Teens love to learn.
80s video games.
Have we talked about Zaxxon on this show?
Ooh, Zaxxon was a good game.
Oh, wait, Mark's nodding his head. Yeah, he must have liked that. Do you want us to talk about it more?
Well, can you pull up the minutes from that conversation?
Yeah.
Well, we should get into the news.
Welcome to the International News Service. We're your hosts. I'm Kevin Harrison, along with...
I am Brian Camp.
I am Mike Wiebe, and we have with us, I can't believe he's been with us for this long already, even though it's only been 5 minutes, and this is the first episode today. We have with us Mark Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Mark.
Hello, Marcus. That's his contribution is hello.
Did you guys know, this is crazy, did you know that there is a British Columbia in Canada? And it's like, what?
You're kidding me. You're kidding me right now.
I bet we get some downloads from them this week.
What, from British Columbia, Canada?
We usually do.
British Columbia, but it's in Canada.
What do you think they do there? I mean, how does that work, Mike?
I harvest cocaine, don't I, eh?
What's great about that is we can insult 3 different locations at once.
Yeah. Take off, Oza. I'm harvesting me cocaine. How's we gonna smuggle this cocaine all the way from here? This pure white Bam Bam powder. How are we gonna smuggle this kilo of nose beer all the way to Florida from here in Canada? We'll have to find a plane that flies real low. I think I know just the vessel. It's called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Okay, let's get some news going.
Our first story comes to us from the Daily Beast.
The Daily Beast.
I'm about to go into beast mode. I like to say that.
Recently, police in France struggled to ID a thief who stole more than $2.5 million in jewelry from LVMH Chalmay jewelry shop. In order to even get into the shop, the man had to provide his name and documents showing he had funds to buy more than $1 million in jewelry. Apparently, he provided expertly made forgeries. Once the jewels were on the display table, the man pulled a gun and stuffed the gems into a grocery bag. He then made off in broad daylight on an electric scooter he had parked outside.
So wait, he had to go to a place that he had to demonstrate he had enough money to buy over $1 million in jewelry.
Right.
And he had a grocery bag in his hand?
Yeah, that's weird.
He also got in with a gun, like nobody patted him down. He didn't have to walk through any kind of x-ray thing or...
Well, he had $1 million. He's probably trustworthy. That's been my experience. The more money people have, the more trustworthy they are.
They kept comparing him in the article to like the classical like 70s and 60s European jewel thieves who were just really good at forging documents and making plans and
like Murph the Surf.
Yes.
Who?
Murph the Surf. It's the guy, jewel thief in the States in like the 70s.
Was he in Luann comics?
In Luann comics?
Yeah, was he in a comic strip under Luann? Over Hagar the Horrible? Murph the Surf?
No.
He's a beach bum that rolls around and has the catchphrase like, "My arms is tired."
It is maybe the worst catchphrase I've ever heard.
I didn't write it, dude. I didn't.
It's not directed at you. I'm just making a comment.
That's why it didn't blow up like Garfield.
Right.
His catchphrase was, "I hate Mondays."
Mm-hmm.
And I eat lasagna.
No, Murph the Surf was a surfing dude he's a real guy. It's a fascinating story.
Is he who the movie Point Break is based on?
I don't think so. No, he was.
You're thinking of Johnny Utah.
You know what? I don't know why you guys think that's fun, but it's not for anybody.
All right. Well, okay. So this frog, did he do anything wrong? I mean, I like everything about him so far.
Haven't we befriended the French? I don't think they like being called frogs.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Actually, French people, I accept you accepting my apology.
Exactly right.
Witnesses at an adjacent cafe should have seen the whole thing happen and been able to identify the man, but just as he was exiting the jewelry shop, they were all distracted by Jean Claude Van Damme.
Whoa.
What?
Apparently, someone at the cafe noticed Van Damme entering a local optical shop at the exact moment the thief made his escape. So no one saw the thief. Police later apprehended the man on a bus headed to Belgrade. Paris police have yet to name Jean Claude Van Damme as an accomplice.
On a bus?
They got on it? They caught him on a bus?
Yeah, it was him and an accomplice, and they had a bunch of money and no jewels. So it's believed that they stole the $2.5 million, sold it, and then
they must have already had a buyer.
They think that they were trying to get to Montenegro.
Well, I'm sad that he got caught because there's nothing, other than waving a gun around in someone's face, which is not.
He just pulled a gun. It didn't say he even aimed it at anybody.
Yeah, it's better if he wouldn't have aimed a gun for sure. But I'm willing to let that go. I think, it is always a bummer. You hear about stuff like this and you love it because I love a good caper.
Mm-hmm.
But then a lot of times you find out that these people are still pieces of total dog shit and you have romanticized a movie, not a guy who also probably beats the shit out of his fucking wife or whatever. A lot of times these guys, it is not just...
I think he pulled an origami rose out of his pocket and left it on the counter after he left.
I will tell you this that I cut out of the story, which is, so he was in this room that was like locked. It had an electronic lock and only the guy showing him the jewels had like a key card that he could open. And so he grabbed the jewels with one hand, or he grabbed the jewels, he threw them in the bag, and then he grabbed the key card off the guy and then ran out, like scanned the card and ran out.
Well, don't those places have like they're called man cages or something where there's like a double door? That's pretty common to have. You go through one door and you're locked in,
right,
or out, like until you are released one way or the other. And I don't think one person can ever do it. Maybe, but I guess you have to, or otherwise you couldn't get in. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I don't know what kind of security this place had, but it doesn't seem to be very secure.
Are you saying that we should plan a heist?
I've thought about that a lot.
I definitely think we should plan that on a recording that we're making and then broadcasting around the world.
That's right. 12 people will know what we're up to.
I've never not been in a jewelry store and not cased the joint. And I don't know what I'm casing for, but I definitely look around and go like,
Here's my exits.
Listen, in whatever scenario, I'm willing to be the honeypot. I've always had the dream of being a jeweler, but I don't know anything about it, and I'm also not interested in jewels. But I like the idea of a quiet place where you would walk in to see me, and I would look up and have one of those magnifier things in my eye, in one
loop,
eye.
The jeweler's loop. Yeah.
I think me looking up doing that would be a great way to be introduced.
You would have to be a jeweler who made forged documents in the back room.
Oh yeah, you got to. Yeah,
That's the real irony when you get robbed.
And it would be somebody, well, I need to see the spring collection. And you would say, it's only fall. And that's how we would know that.
Yeah.
That would be the sign and countersign to go get a passport.
All right. Well, we solved that one.
Yeah, that was easy.
He's cool.
Do we even talk about JCVD?
You know, I mean, he's a working actor. It's a tough gig.
Yeah.
Tough gig. Older action star. Still trying to redefine himself. English is second language. You know, I expect it would be easy to go hard on JCVD, but
is he French or is he from like
He's
Belgium?
Belgium. Yeah, Belgium.
He's the muscles from Brussels, Brian.
Yeah. God damn it, Brian.
Is Bloodsport his best movie?
I've seen a lot of bad ones. I haven't seen a good one, so.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a good one.
Somebody told me Universal Soldier was worth watching, and Mark and I watched it one night, and
it is not.
There's like a good 15 minutes at the beginning, and then that's it.
It's from an era of movies where you had to make your movie not that entertaining for people to like it.
Yep.
I don't know what to call that, but that was a thing.
Well, I would be willing to star in a film with JCVD, but that's the last I'll say of it, and I don't care who puts up the money for it.
Once again, you're pandering to the Chinese.
No, I didn't say. I said absolutely.
What's happening?
I did not say anything about that. I'm just saying movies need to get their expensive.
Why would you say you don't
they need
care
to
who
get funded?
Right.
They need to get
They
funded.
get funded. Mm-hmm. I just think there's no reason to announce you don't care where the funding comes from unless you're letting people know.
You're not in the business. You have to put that out there to get projects financed.
Right. So brutal authoritarian regimes can pay for your movie. I get it.
I did not say anything about that.
You don't have to say it. That's why you say it.
It's on tape. It's on tape. Me not saying it.
It is on tape. It's on. Mark has the reel to reel. He's going to splice this together later on. All right, let's move. We need to get to the news. People are getting upset with this.
Our next story comes to us from the BBC.
Bad Boys Club.
Bad Boys Club.
Germany's War Weapons Control Act regulates the manufacture, sale, and transport of weapons of war within Germany.
It's weird that Germany has a law like that.
Germany is not allowed to have weapons of war, I thought.
No, they can have there's a German military, but they control.
There is?
They have a military again? Is that a good idea?
Am I crazy?
What?
It's a German military, right?
I don't think
they have
so.
a police force. Maybe the Germans have like a defense force,
Maybe.
which is a military, but
founded in 1955. Current form is 1990. Yeah, they got a military age of 17. Active personnel, 183,885.
That's a pretty big standing army. Okay,
Reserve
Germany.
personnel, 30,000. Budget, 46 point... Oh, I'm sorry. Brian needs this in dollars. $57 billion.
I prefer it in marks. Could you tell me it in marks?
Deutschmarks.
No, they don't use marks anymore.
Oh,
They've
that's
used
right.
marks since maybe 2001.
Well, I mean, cool, I guess. Good for them. I like Germany, and now, when I go there now, I've enjoyed it. Some of those meats are weird.
Like, what do you mean?
I don't know. It's funny. They are.
What, give us an example.
I don't know. Sometimes they just have sandwiches, and I don't know what's in them.
Yeah. Is it like organ meat, or is it just weird animal meat?
I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, I get it.
I'll ask them, and they'll go, some birds.
I've heard that story from Potty before.
Some birds.
Yeah, they're just like go like "Arr, arr, arr," do like an animal noise. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Maybe it's like a something that lives in the Black Forest. Aren't there like creatures that live in the Black Forest?
Oh yeah, stacks of them.
Stacks of them.
Stacks of fair folk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I believe it controls who can own war weapons and, how they can manufacture them, sell them, transport them.
How do they define weapons of war? What makes is a knife a weapon of war, Kevin?
Well, they kind of get into that. We'll get into that. I don't have a full definition.
I mean, honestly, most objects in my hands, weapons of war.
Wow.
Your hands, I think, right?
Just my hands, but a playing card. I wouldn't be allowed to have playing cards over there.
I believe it.
A whole deck of playing cards. That's basically
52 murders.
52 murders.
You should write a screenplay called 52 Murders. Somebody kills people with a deck of cards.
Bad idea.
And the last moment is him killing the crime boss with the ace of spades or something.
No. Here's what happens. Because the character's name is Ace, right? He's like,
yeah.
Ace, you've done messed up. 52 bodies, but I'm the 53rd guy. And then I go like, oh, that's why I always keep things funny for the Joker card. And I pull out the Joker card.
Yeah, that's right.
Goes straight into his brain.
I thought you were going to do the instruction card, but
well, maybe there's that one too.
The Joker card's great too.
You're forgetting that in order to learn how to kill people, you need instructions. And then it's just fucking him holding his throat, fucking trying to pull out a card while blood shoots everywhere.
I'm worried people are going to steal that idea from you, Mike.
Poor man's patent on that idea.
Okay, in July 2015...
Oh, we're talking about Germany, right?
Yes.
Germany, July 2015.
In July 2015, authorities in Kiel, Germany, were tipped off about a 78-year-old man's cellar containing a World War II-era tank.
A Panzer.
Police... A Blaupunkt.
That's a speaker.
Oh, they had them in the Panzers, though.
Pretty good sound
systems. Played Kraftwerk when they drove around.
Yeah, right. It's just
in World War II.
Germans beating on trash cans recorded.
Yeah. Einstein de Neudenbauten.
Yeah, that's right.
Police raided the man's home to discover a 29-ton Panther tank, an anti-aircraft gun, a torpedo, and multiple World War II-era assault rifles, pistols, and ammunition. It then took 20 soldiers almost 9 hours to remove the tank.
Why didn't they just turn it on and drive it off?
It didn't have treads anymore. It didn't really work.
Well, then why are they fucking taking it from this guy, this old guy?
That's a pretty good question.
That collects stuff.
Did he collect it because it was relics of his time that he loved in the Nazi German army? Because maybe he should lose it then.
I gotta do some math. Hold on. No, he would have been like a toddler when World War II happened.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Problem Child. And that was just an American kid.
Weirdest. Also, weirdly, I think the second reference to John Ritter. That was a hit. That was a sleeper hit, I think.
I think it was a sleeper hit.
Yeah, everybody loved it.
Now, 6 years later, prosecutors are negotiating with the man's attorneys about whether the man violated the War Weapons Act and his possible penalties, which may include a suspended sentence and fines of almost $600,000. The man also has to find a new home for the items, but he says he's had offers from multiple collectors and at least one museum.
It belongs in a museum.
The man, who's now 84, claims he bought the items as scrap and they cannot be war weapons because they are no longer functional.
I mean, I'm 100% with this guy. If they're not, if there's no I don't think he can hurt anybody. Unless there's plots and stuff of him plotting to do stuff with these, especially a torpedo. What are you going to do with the torpedo if there's no? Especially you just said they're not functional, and if that's true, then he does not need to spend. Well, I mean, I guess there's a lot of loaded stuff with
Well, part of the thing is the ammunition is definitely functional. There's still unexploded bombs in fields in France and stuff from World War One.
Yeah, aren't there whole sections of forest you can't even go to now still?
But yeah, so that's a big part of the German argument is that all of this ammunition and the torpedo are still armed.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I
that's
want to
not-
believe that he was collecting all this for an elaborate heist. This was all that this was all a setup. That there's a jewelry store, probably in Antwerp.
Seems to me, take it away from him, let him sell it, put it in museums and proper places, but don't charge him $600K. He learned his lessons after he ruined John Ritter's life twice.
Well, and who ratted him out? He's 78 years old, and somebody.
I think it was in Berlin.
He did too many TikToks.
There was a raid, or there was a search of a house that was rumored to have stolen art, and that house was the one who ratted him out.
Oh, well, that makes it sound like he might have something to do with stolen art.
That, and again, that makes him sound cool.
Yeah, but whenever I hear about Germans and stolen art, no offense, German listeners, I always assume that it is stolen as a product of the Nazi invasion of much of Europe.
Yes, that happened a lot. But there's a lot of like art theft from a lot of countries, from other countries. It's a very...
Oh, yeah. If I hear about the Brits, I just assume they took over a bunch of places and took it.
You mean like the Elgin marbles taken directly from the Acropolis?
I think it's pronounced Elgin.
The Elgin sausages.
Yeah,
taken...
There's maybe 8 people who will chuckle at that.
Yeah.
Mildly.
Yeah. But they're out there. They're driving home from work right now.
I don't eat a lot of sausage. We talk about a lot about sausage, but I was thinking that I don't eat a lot of sausage anymore. Certainly not Vienna sausages.
What, did we embarrass you too much? You had to break that habit?
No. It's not something I eat very often. That's all. I would. I have zero compunction about cracking up a can of Vienna sausages. Do you know what we don't have enough of in Texas? Fucking hot dog carts.
Where would you put them?
I don't know, like in the shade.
It gets hot out.
That's and so are the dogs.
There's your tagline. But
Yeah.
you could have veggie dogs for the non-meat eating members of.
I'll eat a veggie dog. How about that? Are you happy?
How did this escalate to this? What happened?
Calm down. I will open up a cart with you. That would be a good, sweet gig.
We could probably get somehow brand the hot dogs as adrenochrome hot dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, just with that guy screaming.
Wads of hot dogs in either hand.
Just with wads of hot dogs and that top hat. Just cut. Big man. With like maybe an IV stand next
Some
to him.
sort of motion lines coming out of his crotch.
Yes. Because he's been made extra virile. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you think about hot dogs?
Well, this is our last story for this week. It's from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
The Startlegram.
And in the past, we've once or twice we've had the headline of the week because I found a really good headline, but I didn't have a story to back it up. So I read the headline and then we moved on.
The boulder thing.
This is an INS first. Yeah. We've got the headline of the week, and we've got a story to go along with it.
Hey.
The headline was high quality semen from dead Texas ocelot may revive endangered species.
Song as old as time.
Mm-hmm.
The ocelot is a medium-sized spotted wildcat that reaches heights of 20 inches and weighs as much as 34 pounds.
A little over 1.5 feet, Kevin.
Well, that's from that's the shoulder height. So that's from like the paw to the top of their shoulder.
My statement remains correct.
Okay. Ocelots have been on the endangered species list since 1972, and it is estimated that just 60 ocelots remain in the wild in Texas.
What? That's awful. Also, I don't really know what an ocelot is. They're kind of like a weasel, right?
No, they're like a wild cat.
They weigh 34 pounds and can sometimes grow a little over 1.5 feet tall. You can get a license plate that if you pay a little more for it, it has an ocelot on it, and it goes to ocelot preservation.
Isn't that what people say in prison? They say "Assalamu alaikum." I know I'm tired of how funny that is.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Yes, it's like looks like a little tiny house pet leopard.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah. There's just 60 ocelots remaining in the wild in Texas. That may be changing thanks to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Cincinnati Zoo, and an unlucky ocelot named OM-283. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service had been tracking OM-283 with a tracking collar since 2013.
I'm not a number. I'm an ocelot.
Until May, when the caller reported OM-283 was hit by a car near Brownsville, Texas.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck, man. How are you going to hit an ocelot?
What are you doing?
Drive safe.
Yeah.
Clean the shit out of your eyes.
One of just 60.
God damn it. That would make me feel real shitty.
I'd feel awful about that.
And apparently, the most common cause of death for ocelots is being hit by a car. So a biologist raced to the scene, grabbed OM-283's body, and threw it in a cooler full of ice so the Cincinnati Zoo could get OM-283's testicles within 36 hours of his death.
Wow.
You want to get ocelot semen. I'm sure they wanted to get ocelot semen the natural way. They wanted him to breed naturally. But they had to get him this way because it's not Burger King. You can't have it your way.
That's right. Well, you got to be careful. You don't want to give the ocelot a stroke. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Do ocelots masturbate?
Did you know that 14% of ocelot strokes are immediately preceded by the ocelot masturbating vigorously?
Wow.
Man, they got those big paws. They really do have big paws.
They do have big paws.
Yeah. Well, apparently this one never mated. Because they've been tracking it for 8 years, and they believe that it had left like the preserve that it was on, and they believe that it had left
it never mated? What? It doesn't sound like an ocelot. It sounds like an incel-lot. Ouch. Damn.
Man, this is
still got him coming.
2 ocelot puns in one night. This is great.
Like the alpha male forced it out, and so it left because it was too much of a rival. So it left. That
it was a loner
preserve.
ocelot.
That ocelot needed to have the alpha brain monkey mindset. Why didn't they just go? If they should have just hunted once it got run off, they should have just gone and fed that ocelot some nootropics. Sounds like an ocelot who says I'm sorry.
As opposed to what was it?
I accept that you accept my apology.
Can you say it in a Paul Lind-Caddy way?
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I accept that you accept my apology.
So the biologist who gathered the testicles said, and I'm going to say this like it's a scene in a disaster movie, and this is the only thing that's going to save humanity, because I imagine because this is the only thing that's going to save the ocelot. We knew that any chance of success depended on collecting the cat and getting the samples to the Cincinnati Zoo as absolutely fast as possible.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
They sure went through an awful lot of trouble for these cats.
You know, he had to leave because the female decided she wanted to be with an ocelot rather than an ocelot.
The Cincinnati Zoo then collected over 250 million live sperm and divided them between 20 frozen straws to be used for artificial insemination. The director of the project said, and again, disaster movie, but this is towards the end. This is after they've saved humanity, or ocelotity. It's just incredible that we were able to obtain such a high quality semen sample from a wild cat hit by a car in Texas 36 hours before.
Very exciting.
This will be the first time a captive ocelot was artificially inseminated from a wild ocelot, and it could provide genetic diversity to species in captivity.
Are there ocelots in other countries?
Yeah, there might be in total as many as I think 1.5 million. So overall, they're considered endangered, but least concerned endangered. But in Texas, they're almost extinct. And I think that's true for all of the Southwest.
Well, we need to bring back the ocelot.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted them extinct, just like...
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't kill off an ocelot. I'd kill off some kind of bird.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah. There's way too many.
Way too many birds, and they're all very close anyway.
A female ocelot has 1 to 3 kittens in a litter. So OM283's high-quality sperm could lead to 20 or more kittens and may even lead to the reintroduction of the species into the wild.
Yay! It's sad that an ocelot died. It got hit by a car. Probably a fucking stupid F-150. Somebody just going out there to kill other animals.
So Brian drives.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, were you near Brownsville in June by chance?
No, it's all right. We don't need to talk about.
Do you have an F-150?
Yes, I do, Mike. You're well aware of that.
Do you keep it full of ocelot fur?
Ocelot fur? No, I'm wearing mostly ocelot now.
Seriously though, do you? What kind of animal piss do you pour all over it?
Wolf. The other end. I don't want to talk about my pickup truck. It is not a fun thing for me to talk about right now.
If you're gonna go riding in the country, you're gonna kill you an ocelot. And if you're gonna skin that ocelot, it's gonna cost you an awful lot.
But that now makes me think that there's going to be an International News Service special album of
that would be good.
We put it on Bandcamp.
Uh-huh.
I remember coming home, my daddy, he was crying, nose filled with snot. He said, my son, I just killed my very first ocelot. That could be it's a song about a man who accidentally kills, I'm just brainstorming right now. Song about a man who accidentally kills an ocelot and he's coming to grips with it, and he breaks down in front of his son crying because he knows that maybe it's the kid's ocelot.
Oh yeah. Can the song be called High Quality Semen?
Yeah. The ocelot's dead, but we're still dreaming, sending off his high-quality semen to Cincinnati, where it lives. 250 million sperm, and it's gonna go get and squeak and squirm up into a female ocelot's pussy. I don't know about the last part, but something like that.
And you brought a tear to Brian's eyes.
Oh man, I am tickled by that song. That's good.
Well, we sure did it.
I think
we're pro ocelot, right? Have we established that?
We're pro ocelot, yeah. Definitely want to reach out to the ocelot community and let them know that my favorite show is the OC, and that's for ocelot.
Well, guys, I think that wraps up another week of the International News Service. Feel free to email us at internationalnewspod@gmail.com. Find us on social media at International News Pod. Find us on Redbubble for all your merch needs. And check us out on Patreon. And we'll see you next week.
Kevin, if I wanted to get a sticker, if I was a sticker collector, because I think a lot of people out there are, they just want to have a show sticker and then a sticker they actually stick to some things they would want to. Is there a way somebody could get a sticker that was somehow related to what they've just heard?
The best way to get a sticker is that if you went to our Patreon and paid just $1, Michael J. Wiebe himself will take an envelope and take a sticker, write your name and address on that envelope, put a stamp on it, and stick that sticker in there and mail it to your house.
I mailed one to Ireland recently.
To someone we assume is a real person, but have doubts.
Yeah.
The other way is if you find me and I'm anywhere and you're wearing a mask that says International News Service on it, if you're wearing any piece of clothing,
Kevin will pull it down and French kiss you.
I will French kiss you, and then I will give you a sticker myself.
You can get other stickers and get a Sharpie, which the people maybe not from the States is a permanent marker, and just write International News Service on the sticker and make your own. And that's free. But it takes work.
Tell them how to make free stickers. We are the only source of stickers.
I don't think that's a secret.
If you subscribe, I'll say thanks a lot, and then I'll tell you a tale of an ocelot about all the time his semen walked the world.
I like the idea that his semen break free and are just cruising around
in cowboy boots.
Yeah, they're in cowboy boots. You know what? I only thought we had bobcats in Texas, but I'm glad to hear that we have a friendlier cat.
Yes.
Yeah, something they can be domesticated. You should not domesticate the ones in the wild, however.
Bobcats are mean.
Super mean.
Sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm. If you see a bobcat, kill it.
No, I don't know that that's a good idea.
But make sure that it vigorously masturbate it so it shoots its semen out and doesn't get to procreate.
Right. And if you're lucky, it'll stroke out.
Oh, hey, Mike, you got anything coming up whenever this airs? August 18th?
Yeah, August 21st. I will be playing a show in Austin, Texas with the Draculas at the Far Out Lounge. And then look for Dracula's dates in September with the Toadies. And then, as always, first Thursday of every month, I do a fantastic comedy show in Austin, Texas at the Buzz Mill. I guess it's a bar.
I'm going to confirm that is, in fact, a bar, Mike. It's on Riverside in Austin.
Yes, it's on Riverside. Yes, on East Riverside here in lovely Austin, Texas.
So the next that will be on the 2nd of September. That's the first Thursday of September.
Okay, yeah, that'll be September 2nd.
9/2/21.
Excelsior. We will be giving away comic book merchandise as part of a silly bit we're doing.
Any Doctor Strange comics in that?
Nope.
No. Any Cerebus comics?
Maybe.
Hey. I like that.
We will give away wildly misogynistic black and white comics written by a damaged man. Now we've offended Dave Sim.
That's right.
Thank you for listening to the International News Service. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. INS, the news you need.